Greetings, Dak and the Nerd podcast listener. Hey, I want to do you a quick favor. I want to give you a heads up on something. I know that Star Wars The Force Awakens premieres next week, but I want to let you know that we are going to be spoiler-free on the next episode of the Dak and the Nerd podcast. So you've got some time to go ahead and see the movie. I think Brian's going to talk about it a total of 97 times today. So in case you haven't heard of Star Wars coming out, it's coming out pretty soon. So we definitely want to make sure that we are spoiler-free. So relax, keep calm, it's going to be okay. We're going to be able to get through life without it. I did want to take a quick opportunity, though, and ask for your input and feedback. As you guys know, we have a survey on our show notes. We definitely want to hear what we can do to make the show better. But we also want to hear from you about your plans from Star Wars, so that way as we can kind of know how nerds are celebrating all across the great area that you guys are listening to us. So it's very simple. You can just go ahead and hit us up on Twitter at That Kind of Nerd, or Facebook, That Kind of Nerd as well. Or the best thing you can do is give us a call at 484-373-4119. If you are driving, don't worry, it's in our show notes so that way you can have it. So there it goes. You are spoiler free for next week. Don't worry about it, but let's get into this week's episode so we can go ahead and talk about some amazing stuff. So let's start the show. Well, let's get this thing let's get this started.
Get the show on the road.
Well, that's right there how we're going to begin.
You're welcome.
So congratulations.
Yeah!
That's
Are you ready to rock? Sorry.
God. Brian's having a little too much fun tonight.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anywho, listen, I want to start off the show with actually some fan feedback and some comments and some stuff that's been coming our way. So I just kind of want to jump into that now. So first thing I want to start with was I actually bumped into a fan at Best Buy. I couldn't think if I wanted to say Best Buy or not, but I'm going to at Best Buy. Yeah, and unfortunately, I was with my daughter. I was returning something, so I didn't really get a chance to talk to him. And I was like, "Send me an email and tell me what's going on."
Those pesky daughters. Ruining chance meetups.
She in public is not a lot of fun.
She is apparently my best friend, so we're cool.
That's right. Hold on, real quick. Brian was just calling me at work just about something about work related, and my daughter grabbed the phone and goes, "Hi, Brian. Hi, Brian," and he's like, "Hi." And then she's like, "What up, dude? What's up, dude?" Because I said, "What's up, dude?" So she was just repeating me in the whole 9 yards.
Very sweet.
And after I got off the phone with him, she just looks at me and she goes, "Brian's my best friend." Brian's my best friend.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. All right. That's cool. So Brian has a friend and she's a 2-year-old.
Woo!
Anyway.
Whatever.
So I ran into a friend who is not a 2-year-old, our friend Jon Gitmo.
It's not his actual name.
That's not his name at all.
Dantuono. Jon Dantuono.
Yeah.
Okay. I just, go by his signature.
His nickname is Gitmo.
In his email. Since he said Gitmo and John,
Right, but he didn't have that name before he joined the group.
No.
There.
Right.
No,
Then he was given, and I'm pretty sure nobody else knows him as that.
No, nobody knows him but us like that.
Right.
So the context is all screwed up already. But continue with your story, CJ.
Man.
Fine. Jeez, this show's off the rails already. Anyway, he was giving us some feedback about our binge watching, and basically that the podcast is perfect for his long rides to work. So here's his relevant question. He goes, HBO show The Leftovers for him has basically beaten out Breaking Bad in his level of how good of a television show this is. And he says that he knows it sounds absurd, but basically until you watch all 20 episodes, you won't know what he means. So he gave us a link to the wiki to check it out and to just try to see if anyone's done this. So have you watched the HBO series The Leftovers?
It
Them
looks
fighting words.
It looks so weird that I don't.
Oh, it is. I watched season 1, and at the end of it, my focus just started waning. But my wife is really, really into it, and it's a weird freaking show. But there's something to it that I can't stop.
I've seen many. I've seen many advertisements for it, but I've never seen it.
Adverts? So many adverts for it?
Advertisements, advertisers for some of you. I have seen them.
Brian thinks he invented the word appetizers, by the way.
Right. I was just gonna say.
I'm not talking about appetizers. I'm talking about advertisers.
That's not a
two completely different things. So I did invent that word, sir.
Thing.
Brian,
I have seen this.
It's like the alcohol brings extra words with it.
I am seeing
alcohol's
this.
like,
Chris,
hold on.
Eccleston's in this.
I brought my own thesaurus. Okay, here you go. Yes, Chris Eccleston is in this show.
That's special. And and the second thing that pops out to me is Damon Lindelof helped create it, which he was a huge driving force behind Lost, which was extremely confusing and screwed up and really should have ended at 4 seasons and not 6. But I enjoyed the show for the most part.
There's something to the show that really is just shrouded in mystery and mysticism that you're trying to get to. And it comes back to one of those things where it's like some of the survival shows that are on TV where it's not necessarily the fact that, things have happened. It's the world around you that you're trying to cope with and not necessarily the event that changed everything. It's, The Walking Dead, it's, fear of the living, not really fear of the dead. This show kind of has that thing where you're looking around to the people who have survived with you and questioning everybody's motive. Everything that you encounter on your day-to-day life is what you're calling into question. It's a really cool show. It's got a lot going for it. Something about it couldn't grip my attention to complete season 1 with the attention I know it deserves. And I know that they just said that the next season that they're doing, and I think it's either 3 or going into 4, is the last season. So I know this show is slated to wrap up, and I don't know if that's because of viewers or that's because the plot line's done, but we shall see. So it was interesting. I will definitely give this show a shot. I just finished The West Wing for the second or third time.
Nice.
Yes, God, man, I forgot so much about that show that at the end of it, I'm like cheering. I'm like,
now you have so much new things to ruin for me. Great.
Anywho, and it's really
love
good. So
having things ruined.
It's 20 episodes. They're about an hour each. HBO. I'll do it on HBO Go. You've got me. I'll go ahead and I'll make this my next binge project.
Man, you really can't talk today.
I can. It's really awful. All right. Anyone have anything else they wanted to add about the leftovers while we were...
I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can do it.
I'll watch it eventually. We'll add it to the list. The ever-growing list.
It just gets worse and worse every time.
It does get worse and worse.
What do I do? All right, so there's one other thing that popped up, and it was from our friend Tito on Facebook. He posted a link to an Indiegogo for this shoe called Shiftwear. And it's a combination of technology and fashion, and it's a very interesting project. Basically, what they've done is they put a flexible HD LED screen into the sole of a shoe, so it kind of looks like a Converse All-Star, like a high-top shoe. Screens on the sides.
It's not in the sole.
Right, it's not in the sole. It's the side
you said
of
the sole.
There's a lot of things in my soul. Music, for one.
It's not in the sole of the shoe. My bad.
It is not in the sole of the shoe.
I misspoke. You're correct. It's on the side of the shoe. And what's cool is that basically if there's an app that goes with the shoe, which means that there's batteries in it, I'm going to discuss that in a minute, that if you can basically put it into the app, if it's a GIF, if it's a JPEG, if it's a PNG, whatever, you can put it onto the side of the shoe. It's not permanent. It's something that can change. It does it in color, so it's not an e-screen on there. It's interactive, so you can even have animated things on it.
Wait.
Yep.
I can have like my shoes play a GIF.
Yes.
I can has cheeseburger.
Yes.
I can has cheese. So
you can.
I can have my shoes play the GIF of Jonah Hill from Superbad like this.
Yep.
Doing the
That's
hand,
from.
happy
I thought that was
dance.
getting from the Greek.
That is pretty quick, pretty sweet.
No, it's Superbad.
Anywho, but yes, you can. You could probably have a Doctor Who thing going on your shoe.
How much is this? Can someone shut up and take my money?
All of the monies.
So as of right now, hold on. The one shoe. There's different levels too of the shoes, and I don't know what the whole level is.
Let's assume that I want the holy shit level. I want like the best possible level.
The holy grail of shoes.
You're looking at a starting price of $250.
Probably okay with that. What kind of battery life are we talking about?
So this is the thing. They're not explicitly clear in their video. And to be honest, I got this Facebook comment minutes before we came on the air, so I will do more research later.
Moments ago,
this just in. Anyway, the thing is this. The batteries are kinetically charged. They're charged by your movement.
So all day long?
Yep, pretty much.
What if I don't move?
Well, then you're an idiot. You
Well,
should
then
probably go
I'm
take some
screwed.
walks.
I can't have some
Well,
sweet ass
okay,
shoes.
how do the shoes? Are they Bluetooth shoes? Like, what are we talking about? How do you?
The technology is not fully explained.
Do I email myself a GIF and the
No,
shoes?
no, it's all there via an app. So
You just
I
text
don't know.
it, send to shoe.
Right, but how?
I assume it's Bluetooth or NFC technology, so it's got to be a wireless communication that way.
Oh, NFC, yeah, do it. I guess.
I mean, it's got to be one of those things. I would obviously assume that since they want it to be with an iPhone, because you want to reach your total market penetration, they would need to make a Bluetooth. And again, if you have a Windows phone, you're probably out of luck. But whatever, you have bigger things to worry about.
has
Do you have the link?
Windows
Do you have the link in the show notes?
I will put a link in the show notes. It is also on our Facebook page, and I do encourage you to check it out and leave a comment with Tito. And I'd love to see what you guys think about this too. Go to thatkindofnerd.com. You'll see the link to the podcast in the show notes, or go to facebook.com/thatkindofnerd, and you'll find them there. It's pretty interesting. Here's the deal. There's only 11 days left at the time of this recording. Today is Friday, December 11th. They needed $25,000 for their first round of funding. They're at $466,000 as of right now. So it's going to be pretty cool to see if this is something that can kind of evolve. Wearable technology is, everyone's trying to do it. I think this is a cool, unique approach. I think the shoe itself is a little ugly, but the fact that everything else all around it is customizable is pretty awesome. So,
but it's going to play a GIF. I could have like cat videos.
Nyan
all
cat.
the
Yes.
time.
Just have Nyan
Yes.
cat on your shoes. That'd
On
be
my
pretty sweet.
shoes.
yes, you could. So thank you to John and thank you to Tito for reaching out to us and just telling us that you like the show and that you have a couple things you want to talk about. It's very easy if you want to get yourself and your comment or your thoughts onto the show. Already told you about Facebook or a comment on the website, but you can also just hit us up on Twitter at thatkindofnerd, or you can, of course, call us. And most of you are on a drive home, so you can at least store the number 484-373 4119.
Let's encourage
so-
people saving phone numbers while they're driving. It's great.
Just don't die. There's a red light. You can do it there.
Okay.
And wear your seatbelt, okay? Like, wear your seatbelt. Don't be an asshole. So I wanted to take a quick moment, and I did want to say our apologies. I'm sorry I dropped the ball on this. We didn't get a chance to talk about December movies. The only real December movie that we've been talking about is Star Wars, which we're gonna breeze over for this today, guys.
What? I never agreed to that.
Yeah, it's happening.
No, I never agreed to that.
Just we're gonna talk about it. Anywho,
You know what
so
comes
let's
out?
start. Brian's got the list together. Brian's
do.
posted the article for December movies. So go ahead, man, take it away. Let's see what's on our watch list.
You're welcome. So the first week in December is Star Wars. And the week after that is Star Wars. And then the subsequent 2 to 3 Fridays after that is Star Wars until you die. That is what you need to worry about right now is Star Wars. But if you have a lapse of insanity and want to go see something else, shame on you. There are some other things that may come out of the shadow of Star Wars. December 11th is In the Heart of the Sea. Ron Howard's movie about the true story that Moby Dick is based on, starring Thor, or as he's better known, Chris Hemsworth. And I mean, this looks pretty. It looks pretty interesting. I think that it's going to be huge, giant whale. I think any fan of Ron Howard should go see it after they see Star Wars.
There's my nephews are starting to get into history. They're becoming that age where they're kind of getting very interested in that topic, and they said that they are more excited for Star Wars, obviously, and then this over any other movie that's coming out. And
Right.
I'm really excited to see that my nephews who are young are interested in hearing about Moby Dick. That's pretty awesome.
Call me Ishmael or call me Vader, whatever you want to do.
I think that movie looks pretty. I'm not gonna lie. In the Heart of the Sea looks pretty awesome, but I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters.
I think I might wait because there's something else coming out that month.
What else is coming out, Brian?
Oh, have you not heard? Star Wars comes out in December.
I
What?
have no idea.
Star
It's
Wars
not
comes
all
out
over the
December
televisions
18th.
and the Targets and the Walmarts. Really?
No, yeah, you know what? It would be really freaking epic if they just never released the movie and just did all this merchandise forever. Joke's on you. No movie. We have been promised December 18th, The Force Will Awaken. And
All we shot was the trailer, guys.
That's it. Sorry.
Harrison Ford could only do 2 minutes of footage. That's all we got.
By the way, I want you to try to, when you watch Star Wars, count the number of Harrison Ford saying a line forcefully and pointing. It's going to drive you insane.
I don't care. I love Harrison Ford.
I do too. It's his thing. It's
why you gotta pick him apart, bro. It's not love, man. Gotta have love for the Han Solo, bro. The hell is wrong with you? I was told I can't spend too much time on Star Wars, so moving on to Christmas Day. Christmas Day sees a plethora of movie releases that you may or may not see, being as you may not have seen Star Wars at this point, so you might go see that Christmas Day. First up is Daddy's Home.
This movie looks so damn good.
It looks funny. Starring Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. Also, Linda Cardellini is in this. If I have not seen Star Wars more than 4 times beforehand, I will probably see Daddy's Home on Christmas Day. Looks funny. Looks enjoyable. I definitely think it's worth a watch.
It's so great because Will Ferrell finally gets the love of his stepkids, and then Mark Wahlberg ends up to be their dad, and he's coming down the airport to pick him up, and he's like, I can't wait to meet this guy, because he's supposed to be a deadbeat dad. And then down comes Mark Wahlberg, and he's like, holy hell.
The guy next to him goes, this man is better than you in every way.
It's so good. It looks so great. It's got shenanigans in it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And that's your comedy for the month. That's it. That's the comedy.
That's true. It really is.
The other movies coming out on Christmas Day, one that I do not want to spend a whole lot of time on is Point Break, because the reason I don't want to spend too much time on this because there is only one Point Break. It stars Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze, and that is it. But if you are a fool and have never seen that, you might want to go see this one. Any comments?
I think you should do yourself a favor and see the original Point Break and then never mention this one again.
Here's what you're going to do, listener. Instead of plunking down $10 to see Point Break, you're going to take your $10. You're going to go see Star Wars again. And then on the way home, you're going to swing by a Redbox, or you're going to download and rent on iTunes the real Point Break starring Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. I have no desire to see this
Why
movie.
are you saying his name weird?
Swayze?
It's Swayze. Swayze.
Swayze?
It's not like a rapper's name. No, dude, it's Swayze.
P. Swayze, right?
No.
Dropping those sick rhymes in Point Break.
Stop.
With the fat beat. Anyway.
What's the next Christmas movie?
Concussion comes out Christmas Day. This looks good. This has Oscar written all over it, man. I think Will Smith might get nominated. Starring Will Smith, about the doctor who discovered football players were suffering from brain problems and issues with their heads being hit all the time, and something that we come now to know as the concussion. Apparently it was not easy to just say, hey, football players, stop banging your heads against each other. So,
well, this was a thing that it's a lot of, and this is to follow me through on this, and I'm using a sport analogy, but it's inside baseball, even though it's football related, about the fact that, he brings this to everyone's attention, and the fact that you have to spend money and educate, and all the negative stigma that comes with it. The NFL was at the time not a organization that wanted to address this issue, and it's a lot of controversy and the cover up, and there's a lot of scandal. And I mean, if you watch the NFL climate now, the level that they go for when you think that you may even possibly have
somebody stubbed a toe, stop the game.
I know their concussion protocol is crazy serious, and they take it very seriously, and it's because of the work of a man like this who said this is something that is not only just causing issues in the moment, but down the road this is costing people their lives. And this looks really, really cool to see just how hard it was to try to get everyone on the same board. What about you, Josh? I mean, I know you're a sports fan. That topic has to be semi-interesting to you.
I've had concussions. I just kept playing.
Like a man.
I don't really, and I don't really get yourself checked out, I guess. I don't know. Look, everybody growing up, we took bumps. We got dinged up all the time. We got our bell rung, stumbling around. Coach will call you over, take a look at you. You good? You want some water? No, I'm good, coach. All right, back in. It wasn't a thing.
That's why I don't sport.
So I don't. The concussion is one of those. It's one of those new things that apparently never happened before 1995. Really, it's just very strange to me. I'm not saying it's not serious, and I'm not saying there aren't other long-term whatevers, but I don't. I mean,
I was going to say there's a difference between getting hit at a peewee level and then
I didn't
hit
play
at a
professional sports.
Right.
I played up through high school.
Wait, you didn't play professionally?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I gotta change my fantasy team.
What a romp.
Right. But it's
Have Josh Burns starting everything.
I'm not interested in seeing a movie about it because there's no way it's going to be accurate. Like, they're not going to be able to tell the story. Do you know why?
Because the NFL is the NFL.
Because the NFL is an incredibly private organization.
I saw this on a commercial during an NFL football game. I was like,
Well, of course.
holy shit. You know, I know this is
No,
target
because-
market, but it really paints the NFL in a bad light. I'm really surprised that it's something that is put on their game.
Well, it's easy for them to go, yeah, it didn't happen that way. It's fiction. It's a movie. You know what I mean? So I just don't get it.
But I think, to Brian's point, Will Smith's performance in this movie looks incredible, and this is definitely a movie that's going to be talked about when it comes to Oscar time. So
Most definitely.
this is something that you'll have to watch. You're going to want to be able to talk about this movie when award season comes around.
I don't know why we're talking about anything other than The Hateful Eight for Christmas Day.
No, now you gotta segue into the next movie.
So, look, The Hateful Eight, before anybody even gets into this is Tarantino's 11th
Yes.
film. It was shot, he shot this in 70 millimeter Ultra
Yes.
Panavision.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're going to release in a road show on a limited number of screens in the United States, something like I think I heard something like 70 theaters
Yeah, something really small like that.
that are capable of handling an Ultra Panavision screen. And they're going to do there's this whole fanfare that Tarantino laid out about how road shows used to be a real thing in the 50s and people would get dressed up and it would be a whole experience with an intermission. They're going to do this film a big deal. So that's what I think is worth watching. And plus anything Tarantino's got.
I was going to say, Tarantino's one of those guys who takes the art of filmmaking to a whole new level. His passion for it is
you want to talk about awards? Talk about The Hateful Eight.
I hope so. I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since Tarantino got nominated.
Yep.
I mean, what, Pulp Fiction? Last thing he got nominated for?
This is going to be an unbelievable film.
I hope so. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like typical Tarantino. And honestly, I mean, when it comes to Tarantino, you either love him or you hate him. He's kind of that polarizing type of filmmaker. I love him. I would love to see if I can find someplace near us that's showing it in 70 millimeter because I think that would be amazing. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to go see it as soon as I can, honestly.
This is definitely on my list to watch, but I'm not racing to the theater on Christmas to go see it.
Right. Last movie that you have coming out Christmas Day is The Revenant, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy, who is known for being Bane. Oh yes. Anyway,
that's not Bane.
I got
just so the listeners. No, don't do it. Don't do it, Bane.
I was molded by it. Time to go mobile.
Oh, stop. Stop, it hurts.
Tom Hardy does indeed go mobile in this movie. He's running a lot.
This movie really smells like, to me, of Leonardo DiCaprio trying way too hard to get his Oscar.
They're talking about it. I hope
it's like, please finally recognize my acting performance.
If he gets the Oscar, I'm not saying his performance isn't going to be good. I'm not even saying the movie is going to be bad. I'm saying that if he gets the Oscar, it's going to be the Academy being like, all right, it's okay. It's about time. Here's your Oscar. He's done so many
there you go.
amazing roles for the past 10 years. And I think, I haven't seen it, but just based on what I've seen, I think any one of them, Gangs of New York, Departed, he should have gotten an Oscar for. I think if they give it to him, it's just going to be like, all right, here you go. Finally.
Does anybody know, do you guys know what that is? What a revenant is?
Inform us, Josh. I'm sure you have
Google
that up in
Urban Dictionary. Let me pull up my source.
No, for instance, the Crow was a revenant. So it's basically like a sentient creature, like a ghost or a corpse allowed to live just long enough to fulfill a goal. That's a revenant. So I don't understand what
the concept.
What is this?
The concept of this is
go ahead,
Tom
please.
Hardy. He gets sick. They're like on some sort of trek through the mountains or whatever. He gets sick. He can't walk. And he's been the leader this entire time. Tom Hardy's like, leave him. We can't be dragging dead weight. His son is that this guy has helped us do so much. They drag him around, being on the stretcher here. Tom Hardy decides he's had enough, tries to bury Leonardo DiCaprio alive. His son, trying to stop him, Tom Hardy kills his son, and Leonardo DiCaprio somehow survives or dies and comes back or whatever, and is seeking revenge on him. So that's exactly the concept of this movie.
Yeah, it's you left me for dead, you thought I was dead, you killed my son, I'm coming for you, and then he doesn't have any intention to live after that. It's killed Tom Hardy, and if you die during the process of killing him, and as long as Tom Hardy's dead with you too, great, mission accomplished. I'm done.
He will do what Batman tried very hard to do.
It's interesting.
I now think that the title has now given me the whole plot to the movie, and I know what happens.
Right.
Thanks, Josh. The more you know.
That's for you.
Anyway, that is it for December movies. So really, what you should have gotten out of this is Star Wars. Maybe Hateful Eight, and then Star Wars again. And then more Star Wars.
I would say Star Wars, Daddy's Home is the only comedy that's worth your time. And then I agree, Hateful Eight, and I think Concussion's going to be really cool.
So if we're going to rank them in the order that I'm going to see them, it's going to be Star Wars. It's going to be
Star Wars.
It's going to be Star Wars - Daddy's Home, starring Mark Wahlberg. Star Wars : The Hateful Eight, and then Star Wars.
So I get Star Wars is coming out in 7 days.
Wait, Star Wars is coming out in 7 days?
Sure is. Today being Friday the 11th, and it comes out on the 18th. Star Wars is coming out. Star Wars. I'm actually like my excitement about Star Wars has tempered a bit after that this X-Men trailer that came out.
Yes.
You seen this?
I did.
I think I want this movie to be out now.
Right.
I'll let you two talk about it before I say
anything. It's coming out Memorial Day.
Indeed.
Apocalypse.
This movie's going to blow up the box office.
This is the best trailer I've seen in a while.
And this is Bryan Singer returning to X-Men.
Well, he did Days of Future Past. That was his triumphant return.
Well, I know, but they're keeping him on. It's about time.
Well, yeah, they made some awful mistake by not letting him direct X-Men 3.
I think we all talked about that the Days of Future Past is really just saying, hey, remember all those other X-Men? Fuck them. Just forget about them, all right? It's just Bryan Singer going, can we all agree to forget about it?
Just
and
hit
not
the reset button and move along?
Yep. Cool. All right. So this is like the movie that he would want, like that. All right. Now that I'm done and now that I fixed my mistakes, here's what we're going to do.
So, Brian.
Yes, Josh.
I got to hear your thoughts on this.
My thoughts were I had to clean up a mess after watching it.
This cast is amazing, too.
Did you drop hot soup?
I am so excited for this movie. I don't know what dropping hot soup is, but I probably did it. I mean, I'm not the biggest X-Men fan. My brother is a huge X-Men fan, and I grew up with it. I know all about it. And this movie just looks intense. It looks fantastic. All those worries about how Apocalypse looks, he looks pretty awesome. There's that one scene where he's just growing to the size of a building, and I'm like, yes, that's Apocalypse.
That was the thing about this movie that everyone kind of did. They teased this at the end of Days of Future Past. Very
teased it, and then they showed a set photo of Apocalypse in the costume, and everybody was immediately like shitting all over it. How
there was a lot of negativity surrounding this movie.
Seeing it in action, it looks great.
Yeah,
it looks amazing. I don't know what else to say about it.
Who plays Apocalypse?
I was just about to ask the exact same question.
I had his name, I knew it, and then I forgot it, and then I immediately forgot everything I thought of. I knew. Okay,
because I don't even see it on IMDb.
No, he is the same guy who was in Oscar Isaac, the same guy who was in Ex Machina. CJ.
Oh,
Oscar Isaac, the Robin Hood, the sheriff guy.
Which Robin Hood?
What, the one with Russell Crowe?
Yeah, he's Prince John in that Robin Hood.
Prince John,
yep.
Right. And so
he's also in Star Wars.
He's inside Llewyn Davis guy.
Yes, he is in Star Wars.
Just thought I would bring it back around if we're going to do that.
He's in Star Wars?
Yeah,
yes, he's going to be in the
plays a character named Poe Dameron.
Yeah.
And because we don't know anything about the Star Wars movie, we don't know who he is.
We don't know who he is.
Right,
which is fine.
Right.
But anyway, moving on.
So he's going to be Apocalypse? That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was so nice to see characters like Jubilee and Cyclops and Jean Grey
really?
finally.
Jubilee? Out of all the characters that showed up, you picked Jubilee. Every comic book fan is like, why Jubilee? She just makes fireworks.
Storm?
Because I watched she is one of them. I'm going through the list. I wasn't done.
You started with Jubilee.
Because
Jean
it's the
Grey?
first thing.
That
Oh my
trailer
God.
starts with Jean Grey. You know who I'm most excited to see again?
I was just about to
Cyclops,
say
Jean Grey, Storm, freaking Nightcrawler's in it. And listen, Jennifer Lawrence looks like she's badass, and it looks like she has to take control of the team for a while.
it's
against
another
their
movie
mentors.
where she's telling people to go to war.
She's really good at it. Whatever. I'd go to war for her.
Turn your weapons to the Capitol. What? Olivia Munn, happy to see her too.
Oh my gosh, I saw a video of her just like wrecking shop while practicing with the sword. And I'm like,
Right.
yes, her as Psylocke is
I was
perfect.
getting to the good people. I had to get the honorable mentions out of the way.
The honorable mentions go last. That's why they're honorable mentions. Honorably mentioning Jubilee is in this film, and she looks 80s diva. So yay. That's Jubilee's character. She shoots fireworks from her fingers and looks like she came right out of an 80s music video. That's her mutant power.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver's back.
Yep.
Moira McTaggart, Rose Byrne is back as Moira McTaggart. She was in X-Men First Class. I'm excited about that. Yeah, this is going to be
Trailer is
amazing.
going to be posted on the website, thatkindofnerd.com, so go ahead and check it out and drool over it like we did. Definitely give us your thoughts on this too, since there was so much negativity surrounding this movie when some of the set stuff was coming out. Definitely want to hear what you have to say about it now. If you're a naysayer, what changed your mind besides, oh my God, this movie looks freaking amazing?
You know what other
I think
trailer
it was pretty
dropped this week? I was really impressed by the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Dropped this dropped the trailer this
looks
week.
so good.
Looks really good. I'm so excited for this movie. That comes out June 16th. I want to say.
I was so worried after watching the first movie. It's like, if you make a sequel, you could just fuck this up so badly.
Oh no, it's gonna be crappy. I'm sorry. let me just. It's gonna be a shit movie, but it's got Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yep.
Yes.
It's got Casey Jones, and when Stephen Amell takes the mask off and you see it's Stephen Amell, I went, "Oh my God, it's Stephen Amell!" So there's it's got.
Wait, but I thought Stephen Amell couldn't carry a movie. I thought that's
I'm
why.
so glad
No,
you
he
said
can't
that.
He can't carry a movie, but he can be Casey Jones. That's all. I mean, the only reason, like, who's carrying this movie?
Four CGI turtles.
Megan Fox.
Actually, Michael Bay is carrying this movie. You just want to see shit explode.
Explosion,
Right, just-
right? So
That's how it
it's
started
gonna
off, by the
be-
way. It was just a
it's-
couple explosions in the sky and the whole night. It was like Michael Bay.
It is gonna be a really crap movie.
I feel like he took some of the ideas that he was like, I wanted to do this in Transformers, completely forgot. Let's just put this in the
Listen.
with the Turtles.
You could say it looks like a crap movie in the realm of movies, and that's fine.
Yeah,
It's going to be a good Turtles movie. And anybody who's a fan who grew up with it, like me, is super excited. I actually squealed when I saw Bebop and Rocksteady. I grew up on that cartoon. It was amazing. So happy to see
Bringing
that.
back the Mohawk. All right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and just that first scene where they roll up in the turtle van and they're like, hit the button. And there's a million buttons. And they hit one and like all of these things explode and all of their reactions.
no, they started launching manhole covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all their
It's
reactions
great.
like, whoa. I mean, come on. That's like pure 80s, 90s
Yeah.
cartoon. People who grew up with it, who are now almost 30, like myself, are going to love this movie. I'm
So
really
then,
excited.
All right, then I want this question to be answered. Right? Is this going to be sort of the 15 years later or whatever, 25 years later replacement of The Secret of the Ooze, or is it going to be light year, like way better than Secret of the Ooze?
I think they're trying to do something very similar than what they did with Secret of the Ooze, but here's I don't know.
Can you, what are you talking about? I have no idea.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand the question.
The sequel to the first movie.
Right.
It's called Secret of the Ooze?
Yeah, it's called
Teenage
Secret
Mutant
of the
Ninja
Ooze.
Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. So my
Here's-
question is, like, that is unwatchable in such a way that it actually makes you regret somewhat having watched the first one.
I don't think that's going to do
Right?
that. This movie's going to do that.
I guess that's what I'm asking.
Listen, there's no Kino. There's no Vanilla Ice scene in this movie.
Oh, there better be a Vanilla
They're
Ice in
not
this movie.
dancing, singing Go Ninja, Go. As much as we loved that when we were kids, I don't think it's going to be in this movie. I think it's going to be
sincerely
good.
hope they do.
You know what? If Vanilla Ice is just in a cameo,
That's what I'm talking about.
That would be amazing.
I don't want a whole 20-minute thing. I just want
like if they bump into him on the street, they're like, "Oh, sorry, man," and he's like, "Hey, remember me?" And then
I think it'd be great if they like bump into him and he goes, "Go ninja, go!" And that's it. And that'd
be pretty amazing.
That's the cameo.
Shut up and take my money. If you haven't filmed that scene, it's all CGI. It's Vanilla Ice in front of a green screen. Just do it and throw it in the movie.
Send the Kickstarter. Get it going.
If it doesn't happen, we can somehow get the Teenage Mutant Turtles into the Aaron Paul Ghost Rider movie.
Oh man, that's
what'll happen.
No, they're not welcome there. But I just that's okay. Now I really like your Vanilla Ice idea.
I'm on board.
That needs to happen.
I'm on board for this movie. I'm good.
Since we're talking about movies that were old a little bit and just what they've had an impact on us on real quick, and I don't want to spend too much time on this. Toy Story just turned 20, guys.
Yes, it did.
Toy Story is 20. That's so fucked up.
Happy birthday, Toy Story.
The movie that shaped CGI animation and the fact that it made it possible to see movies like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Let's touch for a moment, talk about how cool Toy Story was in 95. Here's how cool. It came out only 4 years after Secret of the Ooze. So you can see how far they've come in such a short time. That's a big deal.
It's a big deal in general.
They were probably making that movie while Secret of the Ooze came out and says, guys, listen, it's a CGI movie. It's going to take a long time. We can at least be better than this piece of shit.
Right.
And then Randy Newman's like, you got it, guys.
Oh, God.
Go ninja, go. You think they kept him around just to feel good? Yeah, like they got... Randy, I'm having a rough day. Give me a pick-me-up. And then Randy would like narrate their day for a few minutes, and they'd laugh.
Gonna click the mouse. Gonna file papers. Make sure the Woody's hat moves with the light. Steve Jobs is coming now. Just anywho, the fact that Toy Story is 20 years old is ridiculous. It makes me feel super old because I remember seeing that in the theater. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was crazy.
That's exciting. It's great. And I mean, see how far they've come between Toy Story and Monsters, Inc., which was, 5 or 6 years later. I mean...
Yeah, but you know what, man? I mean, I don't really... Like, Toy Story, I don't feel like Monsters, Inc. was any more advanced, like any cooler.
If you look at that animation, the fur animation is light years ahead.
I mean, okay, all right.
Look at Toy Story, and at the time, there was a documentary about this, and of course I watched it, right? The fact that they kind of needed to do a toy movie because at the time the technology was so limited that everything had to look like plastic.
Yeah.
Everything had that shiny film over it.
Shiny and chrome.
By the time they got
on the way to Valhalla.
By the time they got to
Witness! Sorry, go ahead.
The time they got to Monsters, Inc., the fact that they could do hair like that and they could do something like that is
so you want to really feel old? I want you to think about this.
No.
Boo from Monsters, Inc., she's 17 now. She's snapping photos on Snapchat and making horrible decisions.
She's an old woman trapped in Brave, if you remember the story that John told us.
Right, but I mean, if you go from the time that Monsters, Inc. came out, she's 17.
Crazy.
Just put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I don't want to. I'd rather not. So, all right. So let's talk about something that I thought was really cool too. And I really want to hear Josh's perspective on this. There is a Star Wars documentary. Basically, it's the history and evolution of the lightsaber that's going to be airing on ESPN, out of all places.
Why there?
On December 15th.
Because CJ is doing an awful job of talking about what this actually is.
I wanted you to... Please, go ahead.
So
listen, it's on ESPN. I don't know anything about it, so tell me.
It's all right. It's an evolution of the lightsaber as a culture piece or whether you want to call it Americana or whatever it is. It's about how kendo, the martial art kendo, influenced action in this movie, and
right.
So I think it's going to be a lot more.
Well, they're talking about the technology of it too. So they are going to focus on the fighting techniques.
But why on ESPN then?
Oh my God! this is going to make, I'm already getting a little peeved about it. It seems to me like you don't know the quality documentaries that ESPN has produced in the past 5-10 years.
They have really cool stuff.
I
do not watch ESPN, so no.
Oh my
of course I don't know.
Even if you don't watch ESPN, they're like the 30 for 30 series, award winning. It's and it's not just about sports, it's about life. I mean, I can't believe even that you're not a sports fan that you wouldn't watch some of these. There's some amazing stuff on, and most of it's on Netflix.
Okay. I believe you. It
has a lot more to do. It's not about sports. It's about American culture, and it's about how we all grew up. It's unbelievable. And that's why ESPN's the perfect place for a documentary like this, because it infuses sport with something that pretty much everybody can identify with, and that's the lightsaber battles.
And just to go off what Josh is saying here, what was it? Catching Hell, wasn't that a 30 on 30? The one about the Chicago Cubs foul ball in 2003?
Yeah, Steve I can't remember his name.
Steve Bartman.
Yeah. Yes.
And basically how that ruined his
life.
His life is over as he knows it.
It's
that.
ESPN Films it was a 30 for 30. I didn't know if it was a 30 for 30, but it was.
But Brian, you should watch that. It's actually really interesting because it doesn't focus so much on the baseball, but actually the culture outside of it and the fans for it. I think it's really cool. But you're right, Josh. This is probably why it is on ESPN. It's just odd that, after we've been told by Fox News that Star Wars is everywhere and normal people can't watch it, that it's going to a place like ESPN.
Well, I mean,
they should air it on Fox News. Make that blonde chick narrate it. That's the ultimate revenge.
Is under the umbrella of ABC, that's under the umbrella of Disney, that's right. Yeah. So it's all, I mean, it's just more marketing.
Right.
But it's going to be marketing told in the context of something that has spanned now, 3 decades.
Right.
It's pretty amazing. And so Christian's definitely going to want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it too. And I like the fact there's a video, and also we'll post this on That Kind of Nerd as well. So there's a lot of videos for you to watch, but you're welcome. Watch them. They're amazing. Basically, if George Lucas said, like, in the first movie, the fighting was, very primitive and just, smacking sticks side to side. And then by the time that they started getting to the prequels and now going into The Force Awakens, just the way that the fighting style has evolved is just really awesome, which makes for a better movie experience, but a more physical thing. And now there's a subculture of people actually doing lightsaber battles and duels.
Did you see those fencers? That video of those 2 fencers doing that insane lightsaber battle? That was amazing. Like jumping up and doing flips and shit. No, nobody.
No.
I'm gonna let you watch this video.
You go into YouTube and just put in lightsaber battles.
I go on Reddit. It's everywhere. Like it was everywhere, at least where I go. I'm not going to ESPN.com. I go to freaking YouTubes and Reddits. Just saying.
The subreddits that you go to, I'm not allowed to go there.
Oh, you're banned? That makes sense.
I'm just married, I just can't be caught going there at all. My browser history would judge me way too hard.
Yeah, nerd life really, really against the marriage oath there.
But no, this thing looks absolutely amazing, and I think it's something that obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, would interest you. I'm not even going to say anything else. You should probably watch this. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to see people get hurt because of it, because they're obviously going to try it at home, and don't do that.
December 15th at 7 o'clock.
Oh, man, I thought they would do it on the 7th. At 7.
They were not free the
Brian,
7th.
can we come over to your palatial estate and watch this on the projector in your movie theater room?
I see the segue you're trying to do there.
Because now...
If we go over there, CJ, the cat to male ratio goes way down.
Right, and it's fine because we can bring other people at that point, because the ladies could come over because that cat to male ratio is so low. Just saying, ladies. And then he's available in the morning after breakfast to go shopping for an iPad if you really want to. He'll help you.
I actually just answered questions about an iMac. Just saying.
Ladies, I'm available for technology consultations.
Pretty much.
Sad.
Apple Store what? What's that? I don't know. I just tweet Brian.
And then there's breakfast.
IHOP,
preferably.
Do you want to spend more time on Star Wars, Brian?
No, I mean, now that the ship has sailed, you rushed me through it, bastard.
Yeah, I don't think the ship has sailed at all with Star Wars. I think
No?
you can always go back to Star Wars.
It's over.
I think that's
It's over.
Okay, well, let me do this. Let me ask you a question. And I think we may have talked about it. Did everybody, since we didn't get to talk about Star Wars in detail, Brian, since that your soul was crushed due to that,
My
did
soul
everyone
is in
get
a
their
perpetual
tickets?
state
Is
of
everyone,
crushing.
what is your plan for Star Wars?
I'm going to go to the movie theater and do whatever
you have
favors I
tickets
need
already?
to.
Do you have tickets?
Do you
I
have
haven't
tickets?
gotten tickets yet.
Then
You
you
are
are
an
not
idiot.
going.
I know.
You're not going opening night.
Watch me.
No, you're not.
You're sold out, dude.
Yeah, we'll see.
Dude, the Carmike 2 out. Everything.
Listen, I know,
everybody's out.
I know that's what they say, but when
That's
they
no,
turn away
like-
like 300 people, they're going to open another theater. Come on.
Listen, yes, absolutely, they're going to do that. Are you going to see it in anything other than IMAX?
I'm going to see it however way I can consume it.
Why are
for
you
the
not
first
seeing
time.
this movie in IMAX?
Because I'm not made of money, CJ. My palatial estate costs money.
it's not like this movie snuck
The
up on
cats
you.
have to
You've had a
eat.
while to save the $13 to go see that's in IMAX.
Listen, that extra $3, that's a can of cat food for Lester or Jeff. I'm just saying.
Jeffster.
So when Brian comes onto the podcast the Friday after Star Wars and couldn't see it at all,
That's not going to happen.
gonna have to make you feel better.
Not going to happen.
Josh, what about you? Do you have a plan already? Are you
I'm
in
here
place?
for the Wild Fandango. Hold on, I'm looking. I don't know. I don't have tickets. No, I have no plans on seeing this movie anytime.
Well, you also don't like seeing.
He doesn't like
anything with
crowded
people in
movie
the theater.
theaters. He doesn't like
Right.
people.
I have the feeling
So-
if you had enough money, Josh, you would just rent out an entire theater and be like, "Fuck you guys, you can't see it. Seen it by myself."
Someone did that.
If
Yes,
I
I
had
saw
enough
that.
money, if I had enough money, CJ, I would own like
A kaleidoscope.
a kaleidoscope. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I would screen it at my house.
But that would cost. How much money do you think Star Wars would cost to put that?
I don't think it's available.
Yeah, like
Like,
at all.
I mean, if it was, it would be. I would assume it would be $1 million.
At least.
So
Umpteen
basically, Tom
billion.
Hanks is the only person who can go ahead and do something like that. Hold on,
Tom Hanks?
Brian brought up this point. This is true. A guy actually bought out
Every single seat in the theater.
so that way he could have it by himself.
And whoever he chose to, but that's it.
And I want to find how much money he spent on it.
I mean, let's put it this way. Average theater seats what? 300-400 people? For
Here
the
it
small
is.
ones?
Hold on, I think I've got it.
You're
It's on
looking at
IGN.
a few $1,000s at least.
Here it is. So there was a tweet that came out, and it said, "My brother didn't want anyone in the theater at Star Wars premiere, so he spent $2,180 and bought all the tickets."
Oh, that's actually not that bad.
That's a lot less than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Me too.
Still a lot of money, but a lot less than I thought it would be.
But you should see the stack of these tickets. It looks like it's a small. Actually, never mind. It doesn't.
you
look
know
like a
what
small
he'll
theater.
do? Like, he'll just stand out the theater and make it rain.
I'm sure he's going to write void or rip them or something before he does that. Otherwise, people are going to come into his
Oh, sure, yeah.
his screening. But oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Seriously, that doesn't it doesn't sound like all that much.
They must have discounted those tickets for him. There's no way he paid full
You know,
price.
that's probably true. He probably did buy them in bulk.
Someone walks up to the movie theater and says, "Yes, I would like all the tickets." They're not charging him full retail for that.
Not only that, but at $14 a seat, it's only like 155 seats. How small is this theater?
I don't know. I don't have all the details. I'm sure I could really dig them up if I wanted to.
It would have to be a pretty small, shitty screen. Like this seems like
Definitely
a
not
small
IMAX.
number. Right. And the other thing is, am I to believe that this movie isn't going to be in IMAX, but not 3D? Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
there's
just IMAX.
2D regular 2D Star Wars if you want to see.
No, I
it.
want IMAX, but I don't want 3D.
No.
I don't think
If
it's
you
in
want
3D
IMAX,
at all.
you're getting IMAX 3D,
I don't want 3D.
and it's not going to happen then. Sorry,
That's not true.
Sucks to be you.
KOP.
You're going to find a place that does this in non 3D. Why don't you want to see it in 3D? Are you one
Because
of those
3D
people?
sucks. We've
3D
had this
sucks.
discussion. 3D is
3D is
a
awful.
money making scheme.
It's
and
only
awful.
good. Okay, listen.
And Christian can't see 3D.
Okay. I would only see that's a good reason. I would say this for movies that are worth your time, I would say 3D. Things that you actually really, really care about. Other than that, you're right, Brian. I'm right on with you. Total crock of shit. Star Wars is a movie I think you should spend the extra couple bucks and go see in 3D.
I don't even think it was shot for 3D. So
I don't give a shit.
Not adding to the experience at all.
Good.
It's not adding to the experience at all.
It will.
Listen,
I'm not saying it's no. Hold on. I'm not saying it's going to be a life changing experience to see this in 3D versus non 3D. But spend $3 extra? Go see it.
Listen. 3D for every movie that was in put in 3D in post production is those dioramas you made in second grade.
Dude, I understand it.
It does nothing. It's just oh hey the bushes are in front of Han Solo right now. Ooh,
that's fine.
No,
no,
it's not.
No, CJ,
for Star Wars, that's fine.
It's not
any other movie. When did you see
every movie is dumb in 3D.
Like Toy Story 3 was awful in 3D because they didn't make it for that.
Right. They've made 2 movies for 3D, and they were both good in 3D. May not be good movies, but the 3D in it was good.
I think one of them was Airbender.
One of them was Avatar, not Airbender, like the James Cameron blue Dances with Wolves thing.
Yeah. It's Ferngully with blue people.
Ferngully with blue people, Dances with Wolves, Pocahontas on another planet, whatever you want to call it, it was garbage.
Anyway.
3 hours of blue Pocahontas-y garbage. I'm still bitter about that. My brother, I know you're listening, dragged me to the midnight showing of that piece of trash, made me spend my money for 3D on this thing, and I'm at 4 o'clock in the morning saying, you owe me 3 hours of my time and $15. Because I could have stayed home and watched Fern Gully. And I would have had Robin Williams. Would have been much better.
Yeah, so I want IMAX, but no 3D.
We'll find it for you, Josh. Don't worry.
I want to end the show by a sincere thank you to Tito and John for their contribution to this week's episode with their topics and their suggestions. Thank you guys so much for, again, being an engaging part of That Kind of Nerd community. And we want to hear from everybody. I cannot stress that enough. We read your emails, we read your tweets, we read your comments. We take them to heart. So we definitely want to continue to hear from you guys. If you want your voice to be on the show, go ahead and give us a call because I know your commute is ending now, listener. Your drive to work is about to be up, so you can finally take our number down safely so that way you can go ahead and call us at 484-373-4119. But in case you don't have any pen and paper handy, it's in the show notes, so you're able to find it that way. Go ahead and call, leave us a comment, play it on the air. You can, of course, also comment us on Facebook at facebook.com/thatkindofnerd and at Twitter at thatkindofnerd. Please, any way you can just get to us. We definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. So again, thank you so much for making us your drive to work or your walk around the neighborhood. And I do want to say one more thing. We're going to be spoiler-free for Star Wars for next week's episode to give everyone time to go ahead and see it, Josh included, because Josh hates crowded movie theaters. So if you haven't seen Star Wars...
We're also nice like that.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Star Wars next week, it's okay. We understand. Life's crazy. Shit gets in the way. We'll make sure that we're spoiler-free for you so that we can enjoy your Star Wars experience. So again, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Have a wonderful day.
Gotta have love for the Han Solo, bro.
Ladies, I'm available for technology consultations.
Your eyes look lovely tonight.
I've been away from you for far too long, and I really just need to get you back on the path. All right, the path to Brian. I don't know, your Brianness. I need to fix your Brianness.
What's wrong with my Brianness? Are you seeing something in my aura that I'm not seeing?
Steve!
Yellow.